That fellow's done nothing but stare at you since we arrived.
Back when I was younger, I remember going over to a friend's house and him saying, "Hey, I just got Lord of the Rings, do you want to watch it?" Now I had no clue what it was, but I was up for it, so we popped it in, and holy crap, my mind was blown. The action, the adventure, the story, the hot Frodo taking his shirt off scene.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely fell in love with Lord of the Rings. I went out and bought anything I could lay my hands on. Action figures, minifigurines, sword replicas, and of course, video games. Now the two games I really remember playing were The Two Towers and Return of the King by EA. And I know, EA has fallen from our good graces, but this was back when they were making good games and not giving us loot boxes to buy. But besides the EA games, I remember having another one that I kind of played. I don't really remember the game, I just remember it being amongst my Lord of the Rings games. So let's take a look at it now and see what Fellowship of the Ring for the PlayStation 2 is all about. Now this game was made by Black Label, who had the rights to make the games based off of the books, not the movies, whereas EA had the rights to make the games based off the movies. So instead of this, you get this. And instead of this, you get this. Yeah, now I kind of remember why I didn't want to play this game when I was younger. Turning it on and seeing this doesn't really make you want to play. So the game starts off with Galadriel giving you some backstory on Middle-earth and what's going on with the ring. And then you cut to this scene with Frodo and Gandalf, and this scene just drags on really long. It's kind of like when you're a kid at the grocery store and then your mom runs into an old friend, and the next thing you know, you're standing there for half an hour while your ice cream's melted in the shopping cart, and you're just kind of wondering, when are you going to be able to go? Yeah, that's kind of the feeling you get while watching this cutscene. After that lengthy conversation wraps up, you finally set off into the Shire with the goal to make it to Bree. But before you can leave the Shire, you have to do a lot of side quests. You also have to sell your house before you leave the Shire, but you can't do that until you alert the sheriff that there's
wolves in the Shire!
That's right, wolves in the Shire. Don't you see them everywhere? Look, this is a huge issue. There's one, and there's one, and there's one.
Where's the sheriff?
So how do you alert the sheriff? Well, you have to ring this bell. Once when you ring the bell, the sheriff doesn't seem too concerned about it. He more just wants to get back into the bar and finish his ale. So after all that's done, all we have left to do is meet Merry and Pippin for one final drink at the Green Dragon. But hey, before we do that, let's stop off and talk to this old guy here in front of the bar.
Hello, young Baggins. Cheers on your birthday.
Thank you kindly, Daddy Two-Foot.
I'm sorry, what? Daddy Two-Foot. Daddy Two-Foot. Who thought this was a good idea? Who thought, you know what this character's name should be? Daddy Two-Foot. This is the work of Tolkien we're talking about here. You're gonna add in a name like that? He's a part of Tolkien lore? Okay, I don't even know what to do with this information anymore, so we're just gonna move on into the bar to meet Merry and Pippin. It's at this point I realized nobody really likes Sam.
He's not but a ninny hammer, but you're kindly to take the lad with you.
Don't be a fool.
Perhaps you can teach that Samwise some manners.
What's he done?
Nothing I've caught him at, but he's likely one of those pranksters that have been ringing the Bywater warning bell with stones.
But a secret, Sam. Or I hope Gandalf turned you into a spotted toad.
Oh, Frodo, what took you so long?
Did that sluggard Sam Gamgee forget to tell you that we'd be here?
Now that we finally have all those meaningless tasks done, it's time to leave the Shire. In the dead of night. You know, the perfect time to go on a trip. So in order to leave the Shire, we're gonna have to sneak around the race, which shouldn't be too hard, honestly, considering I just ran up into the light and this guy didn't even see me there. I think sneaking by these guys is gonna be a piece of cake. Wait, I'm already caught? I barely got a chance to even try and run. What? Why am I back out at the menu? Why is there no continue? Oh god. This game doesn't autosave. So now I have to replay that whole beginning part. Alright, I finally got back to where I was. It's time to leave the Shire this time. So after sneaking around the Shire for a little bit, you make it to Farmer Maggot, who gives you a ride to the Old Forest. And oh no, everybody's lost for some reason. They really don't give you an explanation of what happened here. They just kind of throw you in the forest and say, everybody's lost, go find them. So all you really have to do here is run around and you'll find everybody just by kind of naturally exploring the place. And it is kind of cool when you find them, they actually are alongside of you and fight the spiders with you. That being said, they don't really keep up with you, and even when they finally catch up to you, they're not a lot of use. Come on, Pippin, you... Oh boy, come on, Pip, you got this. Come on. You got this, Pip. Oh no, Pippin's dead. Oh, never mind. He's back up. Once when you find everybody, you end up near this willow tree where everybody thinks it'd be a good idea to take a nap. And then suddenly, nature strikes back. So this is the first boss fight you come across, and it sucks. The whole boss fight, you're just left with this weird camera angle, and every time you try and dodge attacks, you end up either getting hurt by the tree or going outside and getting hit by one of the roots. And also, let's talk about Frodo's tactic in this fight. He's fighting the tree with a smaller tree. I don't think that's gonna do much. And just when all hope seems lost, Tom Bombadil shows up to sing to the tree. Yeah, he sings to the tree.
You let them out again, old man Willow. You should not be waking. Eat earth, drink water, go to sleep. Bombadil is talking. So once when everybody's safe, Tom offers us dinner back at his place, and we all set off, and oh crap, look at that walk! With a walk like this, we're gonna be back to his place in no time. Although I'm starting to think Tom's house isn't the place to stay. Anybody who looks at you like this, I don't think you want to be sleeping in their house. And so after a good night's sleep, it's time to finally hit the road again, but not without one last song for the road.
Here's a song to sing should you fall into any danger. Oh, Tom Bombadil, oh, by water, wood and hill, by the reed and willow, by fire, sun and moon. Hearken now and hear us, come Tom Bombadil, for our need is near us.
And so, after another long day of journeying, it's time to set up camp again. So once when you wake up in the morning, oh no, everybody's lost. Again. So how do you find them? Doing some more running around, and this time fighting ghosts with a stick. Eventually you come to the next boss, and it sucks. Even more. So after about 10 minutes of trying to beat this stupid zombie with my stick, because that thing has been able to kill any and everything I've come across so far, turns out this is the one thing it can't kill. You have to open up this chest during the boss fight to get the dagger in order to kill him. Now I'm no expert, but don't you normally get the item after fighting the boss and not during fighting the boss? So after a few slashes with the dagger at the zombie, Frodo realizes he can't defeat it, so he decides to let out a song to Tom. So once again we're saved by the power of song, except this time Tom decides we're too stupid to make it on our own, and just decides to guide us to Bree. So once at Bree we make it to the Prancing Pony, and it was here I figured I might as well walk around and talk to some of the native locals and kind of see what the nightlife in Bree has to offer.
Hello. I'd like to give you a word of advice, young hobbit.
Oh?
There are some dangerous folks about tonight. I hope you stay safe.
I'm sure I will.
So do I. Enjoy your stay.
Wow, the people here are so nice. I'm gonna talk to all of them.
What do you want, fatty? Excuse me? Why don't you go stand by the fire with the rest of the children? Bill Fernie's trying to relax.
See, this is why I don't go out and talk to people. This is why I just stay inside in my room and play video games all day. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was disturbing Bill Fernie's peace and quiet. I'll give Bill Fernie some more solitude so that way he can think about his very important thoughts. You just wait, Bill Fernie, you'll pay for this. One day I will be bigger and you will pay for this. Well, that's enough talking to the locals. Let's just go find Aragorn. So once you talk to Aragorn, he's added to your party and you can move on to Rivendell. But before we leave Bree, there is one thing I need to do. Ha! Screwed you, Bill Ferny! Take that! I hope you enjoy your peace and quiet in the graveyard. So once you leave Bree, it's here the game decides it really just wants to be dark. I don't mean like dark story-wise, I mean just straight up dark. Want to make it to Withertop? Well, you better bring your night vision. Want to fight these wraiths? Well, you better crank that brightness up on your screen. So once you make it to Rivendell, you gather up the Fellowship and set off for Moria. And I hate Moria in this game. It's just a bunch of empty rooms that all look alike that are too dark to tell what one you've been in and what one you haven't. There's also a bunch of switches that are really hard to see that you have to get to open doors. It's just a really big pain in the butt and feels like they just added it to try and extend the gameplay. Somehow I managed to find my way through it all, and at the end of it, you fight the Balrog. Now I know what you're thinking, the Balrog, that's gotta be a pretty cool fight. But no, it sucks. After a bit of perseverance though, I was able to finish it off and get to the final part of the game. Now here's just a lot more running through the dark, fighting off the orcs, trying to make it to the end of the level.
Let the ring bearer seek safety. It is time for Andúril to strike.
That's right, the final boss fight is against the Nazgul. Wait, where did the Nazgul go? Yeah, so the Nazgul glitches out and you can't fight him. Thankfully though, after a little messing around, I was able to load an old save file and finally got it to work. And this is basically all you do for the boss fight. Exciting. After that, it cuts back to Galadriel, who's giving us some ending talk. And it's clear they were trying to get people all hyped up for the next game that was going to come out, but that obviously didn't happen. So that's Fellowship of the Ring on the PlayStation 2. The game starts out a little too slow for my liking, but once when it gets going, it really does get fun. However, the glitch at the end with the boss disappearing really can kind of kill your enjoyment with the game, and it can really just be frustrating to deal with if you have to keep loading old save files in order to beat the game. So, with that being said, I think the best way to end this off is with a song. Oh, come bombadillo. Go away. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching that video, I really do appreciate it. I'm also playing the Fellowship of the Ring for the Game Boy Advance over on my gameplay channel. The link's right here if you want to go check that out. Or if not, you can check this video out, which I've made. Or why not hit that subscribe button?